you think about adults and it's like they seemed like they didn't let the small things bother them. But I think
Yeah.
it's just they didn't give a fuck about
Didn't
shit
give a
because their
fuck.
bodies are falling apart.
Yeah.
Hello, internet. How are
Hi,
you?
internet. Hi,
My
internet.
team
Hi,
lost the
hi.
Stanley Cup again, but I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like, okay,
Are those tears? Are you crying? Are you crying?
I don't
Is it,
know.
you know how they usually do the thing where they break it down every year where like how many Canadians are on each hockey team?
Yeah.
Like the Panthers had a bunch of Canadians on their team, right?
Yeah, they always do.
Brad
Whatever.
Marchand got another Stanley Cup, man.
Fuck
Fuck
that
that
guy.
guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Dirtiest guy in the game.
Oh my god. That actually just reminded me really quickly. This is totally an aside. Who was I talking about on the podcast recently?
Let me
Uh
lean it back. I don't
when
know.
I was like, fuck that guy, but it wasn't Brad Marchand because fuck that guy. But like I used to do a TV show with my buddy a long time ago. It's called
Oh, you did
TV
a
Chin.
TV show?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called TV Chinwag. It was a long, long time ago. And we
Was it
did an
like a
episode.
podcast style?
Yeah, and we sat on a couch and there was a green screen behind us and we reviewed television and movies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the
Like a
anyway,
podcast before a
like a
podcast.
podcast before podcasts existed, but it was a
Hmm.
public access television show. So we did we had a producer, everything. It was pretty cool. This guy named Matt, and we were doing the TV show, and we were I can't even what was the it was a period piece starring Paul Giamatti and Samuel Adams, I think it was called. Anyway, we were reviewing this thing, and I was saying like how much I hated Paul Giamatti, and
Nice.
Matt, our producer, put like in the edited cut that went to air, he did the Giamatti meter, like how many times I said, God, I hate Paul Giamatti, and it counted up and up and up. And I always
Nice.
wonder to this day, like I don't actually hate Paul Giamatti, and I wish that I could go back on that, but it lives on YouTube. It
Yeah.
lives on in public access channel. The people of the town I used to live in actually no, it was here, it was Burnaby. I still live here. It was like the early 2000s.
Oh,
But
crazy.
yeah, but yeah, like so anyway, just for the record, if Paul Giamatti, if you watch this podcast and you've seen the TV Chinwag episode where I bash you, I actually think you're a tremendous actor and I'm so
Nah,
sorry.
don't
But
take
Brad
it back.
Marchand, fuck that guy. And now in 20 years I'm going to be like, remember what I said, Brad Marchand's a jerk. I'm sorry, I apologize for that.
Don't take it
I'm
back.
walking it back. I'm walking it back. Paul
Oh,
Giamatti rules, and I'm sorry.
so that this episode you won't be hearing my toddler cry because they left to Alberta. So that's
Oh,
why we're doing it on a Tuesday night, which is nice at first. Like be like, all right, house to myself, and then you're like,
yeah.
house to myself. But yeah, check this out. I'm
What am I checking out?
wait,
Are
no,
you,
wait.
are you
I was
sending me
gonna
something?
turn off my background, but
Oh
I'm
no.
not.
Are you just like in the living room? Like
Yeah,
you're
I'm
just
just in the
in a
living room
public
in the middle
space?
of the house. I don't know if you could
Nice.
hear my creaky ass computer chair.
I can. That's awesome. There's been
Yeah.
some stuff has gone down in that chair that
Why
you're
the
not proud of. I'm
fuck?
pretty sure.
Maybe it's in video settings. You know, I've been
Whatever.
doing this for like 7 years. You figure I
So
know how to do this.
you're just like in a public space and you don't even have earphones. You have earphones in,
Oh,
yeah.
I do.
I
I
was like,
have
you
these.
don't
Oh,
need,
I also bought little guys
you got little guys.
because
All
I was
right, little
sick of
guys.
having the big muffs with the like thing
I don't have
like
any
that.
I don't have any hair, so it doesn't bother me.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um,
It actually sticks better to my
yeah,
head
I'll
that
show
way.
you.
This is great.
Why am I?
So I'm like you, man. Like
Holy fuck! There we
my
go.
my
That's my
oh
living
my
room.
god, he's in his living room. I don't go like my family doesn't go away. They're always here, but sometimes
Yeah.
I go away for work.
Mhm.
And I was the first night, I'm like, oh, this is glorious. I have the bed to myself. I have no responsibilities. There's nobody asking me questions. There's nobody demanding my time for anything except maybe work stuff.
Mhm.
But that first night in the hotel is glorious. No
Just playing
family.
Spider Man.
And don't forget, I love my family so much. But that first night is glorious. And then the second night, I'm like, no one is demanding my time. No one's asking
Yeah.
me for things. I don't have to make dinner for anybody. I just have to enjoy myself. And it's so hard to like change over to that. And then
Mhm.
I miss them terribly. And I'm just like, oh God, I can just go out for dinner at my leisure. This sucks. I need a scheduled time when people are home and asking me shit. So
Yeah.
are you just they just left today?
Yeah, I just dropped them off this morning.
Yeah.
So I
So
worked
you're
a half day
you're
of
you're
work.
at you're at first night glorious.
Well, it's like I'm still going to work, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. I can't even just like on the weekend. I plan to fuck off to go to Olympia, Washington, to
Yeah.
go see a Tartarian building. I don't know
Nice.
any crossover listeners from the Dale show from when we did Tartaria.
Yeah.
Um,
It's that Capitol building
yeah,
in
the
Olympia, right? Like
Olympia,
all the
Washington
Capitol
State
buildings look
Capitol
the same.
building.
Are you gonna go hunt Sasquatch? I'm jealous that I'm not coming. I'm sorry. I
No,
apologize. I got to go do a thing this weekend.
that's fine. I haven't done a solo road trip since basically like 6 years. It'll be
Are
fun.
you okay? Since we're on Outrage Factory and we're talking about these, are you worried about the border at all? Like getting
I
detained
was
and
thinking
held
about
there?
it, but I'm like, about time I fucking cash in on this white privilege.
Nice.
Like,
What are you
it
gonna
better
like?
be
You're
worth
gonna are
something.
you? Is it like badging your way through? You're just like, excuse me, I'm white, and then they just let you through the border. Is that how that works? What
I
was would
hope
you
so. I don't want to be detained.
like?
They
Because it
might
could
they might pull me over for pink privilege
pink
for how
privilege. They
pink
might
I am
they.
right now.
Oh my god, you are very pink. What were you outside in the sun today?
I've been outside in the sun all for like since it's been sunny.
Oh, that's true.
Because
It's
like
just
at
it
work I
only
go outside and it's
yeah.
just like blood and like I'm getting this like old person thing where it's like my glasses reflect the sun.
Oh yeah, and they
So I
burn your
get like
cheeks. Yeah.
rosacea, and then when I take off my like glasses, I have like reverse raccoon eyes.
You want to talk about old person stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see these. Look at this. I got old man hands. Look at this. I got
Old
the
age
age.
spots.
I know. Fuck. Only on my left hand though. I
Is
got
that
to get
what
my
that
hands tat.
is?
Uh, oh, you
It just
disappeared.
it just
I don't know. You're
you can
really
kind of
white.
see
Yeah, a
one.
little bit. Yeah, I can see one, but you can see mine for reals, right? I'm gonna get my hands
Yeah.
tattooed so that I don't have to look at those
Oh
anymore.
yeah. I want to get my knucks tattooed, but I don't know what. I want
I
to
have,
get hang loose,
I
like
have, I have,
LOSE,
I have
because
one
I
knuckle
love it, but
tattoo.
that'd be like not enough people get it. Like I thought everybody would be like, that's hilarious, but because I have it in
No,
one of
because
our
some people
main
can't spell.
logos.
That's one of the that's one of like the more commonly misspelled items. Loose and lose, like that
Yeah,
confusion.
but it's funny because it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to be cool, but you're just a loser, so you're hanging
Hang
loose.
loose. I'm hanging
Yeah.
loose. I wanted to get love song tattooed on my knuckles, but I
Love
never
song.
did. Yeah.
When I wanted to get an actual one, I wanted to
Like the
get True
cure.
Self,
Oh,
just
true
to
self.
like
There you go.
always
Yeah.
be your. But I don't know. There's like something about like I guess it's just us Gen Xers. Like whenever you talk about mindfulness and like meditation, where you just kind of feel like you're like being a like gross and tacky. So
Yeah.
anytime I'm like, yeah, you just got to be your true self, man, it just feels like, oh. But
I just made a deal with myself that I wasn't going to get tattooed above the like up from the
oh,
neck
that's a
up
good that's a good deal.
or from the wrists down, and then I got my wedding ring tattooed onto my hand.
Yeah.
So
I I I'm with you. Like anytime I see
yeah,
someone with a face tattoo, I'm like, absolutely not. You look
yeah,
like
and
a
like
criminal.
people get like just face tattoos now. I'm like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
called the
Like
California skin suit.
that's my what when you get just like your hands and your
Just
face
yeah, just your
tattooed.
hands and your face so people
Yeah,
know you're tatted.
yeah, that's weak sauce, man. That's weak
Yeah,
sauce.
it's so
If you're
dumb.
not trying to hide them a little bit, you're
Yeah.
not a person who gets tattooed properly.
Yeah, like
you
I
gotta
haven't
you
even
gotta hide them
gotten
a little
my
bit.
like I haven't gotten below my forearms,
Yeah,
so
that's actually pretty smart. I like I've
it
had
doesn't
people
matter.
stare at my tattoos before, like
Yeah.
older people. It's always older people. Younger people don't give a shit, and people our own age don't really give a shit.
Hmm.
It's like 50 plus people. Oh my god, I'm 50. 55 plus people. They just like stare at them.
Got to give it a little bit of separation there.
Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 49 in a couple of weeks. That's fucking scary.
Nice.
Yeah,
49.
terrifying.
My older brother just turned 49.
Oh yeah, right on.
Shout out Neil. Happy birthday.
Right on, Neil. Happy birthday, buddy.
One of our main
Did you
listeners.
get him a present for his
Yes,
birthday?
I did.
Did you get him the Dr. Sasquatch Sydney Sweeney tears
No.
bathwater
No,
soap?
that's on a limited order. So
Oh, well, you couldn't get it? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I tried. So
So
just talking about is um I don't know. This isn't that big of a deal, but the reason I put it in was like 9 or 6 years ago, which like because I was
yeah.
like I saw the Sydney Sweeney like bathwater soap, and I was like, didn't that like Bella chick, some gamer chick, didn't she just do that? Because she was selling like
I only remember the farts in a
mason
jar
jars
chick.
of her bathwater.
I thought it was mason jars of her farts. Who
No,
was
this
that?
was
That
that
was
was
something. Oh,
after.
different.
This was like some
Okay.
chick. Can't remember what her name. It wasn't Belladonna. That's like some crazy porn star. It was like I don't know. So it's just like some gamer who's Twitch streamer who was super famous in like 2018, 2019, and she was selling like the moral of the story is I thought it was like last year and it was 6 years ago and it made
Oh
me feel
man,
extremely old.
the moral of the story is you have no idea how to
Yeah.
calculate time math, just like me. Yeah,
Oh
totally.
yeah.
I
The
get it.
moral of the story is COVID killed my time
Yeah, it
sense.
makes it not, nothing makes any sense anymore.
Yeah, the
Time
timeline's all
wise.
fucked up.
Yeah. So the Sydney Sweeny bathwater soap. What so my first initial thought of that was like it's kind of counterproductive because like if you're using that soap, you're using her bathwater, but she's already bathed in it. So there's probably soap particles in it.
Yeah.
And also it's probably bullshit.
Well, it's she bottled like she sat in a tub. I don't think she actually had a bath, and I think it's like
Oh,
purely just like for say. So
yeah.
she like went in a bathtub. It was probably like some like steel drum, like fully
One
hygienic,
of those
fully
55
clean.
gallon drums.
And
Like
it
it's
was
all
like probably like I technically put my body in this, and they're only promotional bars. And there's this company Sasquatch soap, which their soap's like $12 a bar. Like, no thanks. I don't need
it's
a
pretty expensive.
one. I don't use bars of soap
Yeah.
anymore because
Who
it's not
uses
the
bar
fucking
soap?
dark ages.
Yeah.
I
They've made
just
liquid soap. It's much nicer.
this is what I do. I buy a loofah and then I get
Yeah.
body wash
You
and then
squirt the
I
body wash on there.
squirt the
Soap done.
body wash straight into my hand because I'm too lazy to lather up the loofah and then I just rub it on me.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess I could use soap, but soap always dries out my skin
Yeah.
because I'm a little B word when it comes to I don't know, like I have like
Dude,
really temperamental skin and I get itchy.
I had one of those moments where I was at somebody's house and they had like bar soap and I was like, what is this? Are you poor? Like,
Are you poor?
and I didn't even look at it. I'm not normally a person that thinks like that. And I was like fucking like catching myself laughing. I'm like, oh, you got bar soap. Oh, I'm sorry you're not doing well. Like financially.
Did you steal this from a
no. Yeah,
bath, a
like,
gas
they
station
stole it from a
bathroom?
gas station bathroom, totally. Yeah. Like
Um,
that's the word. I had a buddy in college who was like, I was like, we were roommates, and he had like, he we had bar soap back then because it was a long time ago,
yeah.
and I got in the shower and there's hairs on the soap, and I'm like, dude, this is disgusting. There's hairs on the soap. He's like, it's soap, man. It's clean, and I'm like, that's not how fucking soap. You gotta get the pubes off of there. It's gross.
Yeah.
Bar soap is for poor people and college children.
Anytime somebody says something about soap being clean, just be like, what's the
I'm
last thing I wash and the first thing you wash?
balls.
Yeah.
Face.
Last thing you wash
Yeah.
is your asshole. The first thing you wash is your face.
Yeah, so yeah,
Um,
that's a no. That's a hard no on bar soap, even if
so
it
I
has
just
Sydney Sweetie's
oh
bathwater
my
in it.
god, this fucking thing. Sorry,
Are you okay?
I'm
You,
boomer struggling with the Newsweek website, which is where this story
oh,
on Sydney Sweeney Sasquatch soap is. It just keeps asking me if I want notifications. It's like, no
please
thanks.
no. Please don't give me
But
notifications.
okay, so this
I
stuff is
didn't even really want to come to this website.
yeah, this stuff is going to be $8 a bar, which is American.
Jesus.
So yeah, like $12. I wasn't even
$46 is
exaggerating.
Canadian. Yeah, you weren't.
I
You
thought I
nailed
was,
that
but I
actually.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, so it's made with like her actual bathwater, but like I was saying before I was rambling about how I'm too lazy to use a loofah.
Yeah.
It's like she sent water to the Sasquatch soap factory and they like put a little bit in each bar.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
then I was just looking up to see what the flavor was or the
The
scent or
the flavor
yeah.
of eating Sydney Sweetie's bathwater soap.
Yeah,
It's
because it's
delicious. There's
like
like bites out of it with teeth marks. A, it's it's bar soap, so we've already established that that's for losers. And
yeah.
then B, it's um it's like one of those situations, you know, when you get like uh it's like a may contain nuts kind of a situation. It's like it's possibly like
My nuts.
may contain Sydney Sweeney
Yeah.
bathwater, but it may not. Your bar might not have had any of it mixed in. Right? It's that
Yeah.
scant. It's just a, you know what? It's a publicity stunt. I know better. I'm in marketing. I should know this stuff.
Oh yeah, Belle Delphine. That's the chick I
I
was
don't know
trying
who
to
that
think
is.
about before. That's the
That's
Twitch
your
streamer
world. That's your
in
world. I'm not in your world.
2019. And in 2019, she was charging $43 for a little mason jar of her bathwater.
Should
But that was like her actual gross ass bathwater that she
ugh.
probably peed in because she's a filthy girl.
Should we make bath water
No,
soap
nobody
that
wants that.
or charge like bath? I haven't had a bath since like the 90s.
I love baths, but my bath is too small because I am a rather
You're
large
a large
man,
man. Yeah.
and I don't fit in apartment bathtub. So whenever I go to like a hotel room and there's like a big bathtub, I'm like, fuck yeah.
I had when I was in Vegas for work in
Yeah.
2012, I at the Aria, I had a full jacuzzi bathtub in my room, and I absolutely got some beers and watched some trashy TV on my iPad and sat in a tub. So I have had a bath since in the last 20 years.
Okay. So this is why I didn't get a bar of Sydney Sweeney's bath. So
Okay.
they only made 100 of them, and
yeah.
they're for a contest starting June 6th. So sorry you just missed it. We're late to the party.
Wow. Yeah.
And there's only 100 winners, and it was made with exfoliating sand, shea butter, and a touch of Sheenie's bath water.
Gross. I still think it's
Dude,
gross,
this is one of nature's finest aphrodisiacs.
What, Sydney Sweeney's bath water?
Yeah. I guess what? It smells like oysters then?
I get tiger penis ground up in there with her bath water. The whole thing is weird. Let's move on.
And they said it smells like morning wood because it includes notes of pine, Douglas fir, and earthly moss. Like,
did you know that wood can smell the same all throughout the day? They didn't have to make a wood. I didn't have to make a morning wood pun.
It's funny because I texted Geoff like on my way home from work. What was it? Poopen, farten, sharten?
Yeah, Poopen, farten, sharten. I agree to the terms of service.
Yeah, so it's like you translate, you go to Google, try it, it works. You go to Google and you type in, like, you go Google Translate and you leave it on detect and you put Poopen, sharten, farten, and it detects that it's Hindi and it translates it to full terms and conditions. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be like a full grown adult when stuff like this is out there.
Yeah. There's no
and
way.
Then I read that this Dr. Sasquatch thing says it smells like morning wood. And I'm like, grow up, guys.
Yeah.
An hour ago. Like, I was
sharten, farten. Yes. Yeah. Morning wood jokes. No.
I was
grow up, you guys.
Wanted to call this episode Poopin' Sharten Farten. And I'm like turning up my nose at morning wood jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it, man.
And moss. Ooh. Earthly moss,
because
like her bush hair.
They're talking about her bush. Yeah, they're making lewd puns.
Yeah, let's talk about poops and sharts and farts and not gross pubic hair on women. Yuck.
Yeah. Oh my god. We're adults. What's the most adult story we have to go over? Let's do the most adult one next.
I'm gonna do the most adult thing I've done on this podcast in a long time.
You're gonna censor yourself?
No. Fuck no. I've already censored myself by not talking about Israel for the last 2 years.
You're doing well. Okay.
But I just want to say kudos and a big fucking way to go, Greta Thunberg. Like, we made fun of her on this podcast relentlessly when she told everybody she was like, this was before your time.
This was back
when character still.
Yeah.
I just said how she was like an autistic girl who just like didn't want her parents to have other kids so she could get more attention and stuff. And how the whole, because she was still in high school and she would like, the write-up in the news story was saying how this was back when she was 16, how she would skip school to go to like climate pledge rallies, and how one of her like claim or calls to action was so parents only have one kid, so they have. And so I just like made fun of her. But I do want to say her going on a flotilla towards Gaza was incredibly brave and more mature and adult than I'm willing to be. They actually got picked up by the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, in international waters, which some say they don't have rain there to pick them up, but they picked them up and they put him in jail. And then I was like, oh shit, what's going to happen? And then I was like, I wonder if this is going to get like, fucking figured out by the time we do this pod. And it did. Right. They just like gave her sandwiches and sent her home because they realized it's Greta Thunberg. They can't just fucking drop a 2000 bomb on her when she's in a tent like they do all of Gaza.
Right.
So they sent her home and nothing really happened after that. But I just wanted to shout out, be like, putting where your fucking mouth, where your words are, or putting your ass on the line for what you believe in.
This is your Greta Thunberg, Paul Giamatti moment.
Yeah.
Just circling back to the original part of the podcast. I was wrong. Paul
I
Giamatti
wasn't wrong.
rules.
She was fucking annoying when she was 16. And I do think it was all just a ploy.
Have some grace.
I don't have to have grace.
Take
I
the
still,
W on this one. I'm trying to set you up as a good guy here.
I could think she's an annoying person and
You
still
can.
give her kudos for her actions.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
I mean, that's like kind of what I was been doing with Trump, which I guess we should talk about.
Oh, is that the next story?
Yeah, we're just going into Trump versus Elon because
I didn't even get to talk about.
Oh, do you want to talk about Greta Thunberg?
No, I don't know anything about her.
No, weigh in.
I don't even know. Actually, I don't even actually know what the story's about.
No, just weigh in on Greta. Well, she was like, there's this like.
No, I know who she is. I get who she is, and like,
yeah, but you've never weighed in on the podcast, Geoff.
Yeah,
the audience doesn't know your feelings.
Doesn't know how my feelings on it. Yeah. I'm going to.
How do you feel about 16-year-old girls, Geoff? With pigtails.
That's a setup. That's a setup question if I've ever heard one.
It's okay. She's 21
my white
now.
Privilege and take the fish.
She's 21 now. You can talk. You can tell us your real feelings. That's not what
no. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not playing your games.
I'm sorry. I won't trap you.
No, I don't really, honestly, man, I don't really know enough. I mean, I know she's a climate activist and like, was really huge in the news a few years ago and kind of disappeared a little bit. There was the whole airplanes thing. Like there was that whole controversy about like with her and Taylor Swift of like how much airplane travel they're using, like comparative charts and all this stuff. And I'm like, for a climate activist, she sure is flying around the world a lot, you know, creating a carbon footprint that would put most people to shame. But but all that aside, like I don't really know a ton about her. I've been not really keeping up. I like the Israel thing is abysmal. I know you don't really want to talk about it in that whole situation.
No, let's talk about it.
Fucking like wild and like
fuck, they're gonna start World War III, so we might as well talk about it now.
Shit, it's I mean, this is one of those times like I feel like it's been a never-ending horrendous news cycle since COVID. And just like everyone's just focused on that and like not doing things like they are. But then again, that's microcosmic. This is me in my own little world where I have decided not to ever do anything again. I just can't go out. I don't have any money. I can't do anything. It's like, I don't know. Like it just feels like the whole world.
Dude, also,
and there's nothing we can do about it. And kudos to Greta Thunberg for like getting on a flotilla and trying to fucking take on Israel. Because like there's a lot of us on the internet going, you know, fuck Israel, fuck all this shit. And like, but
we don't even say that. We're scared to say that.
Yeah, I'm not, but it's like I just to be specific, fuck the state of Israel, fuck all that stuff.
Yeah.
Not the people specifically, but fuck the state of Israel, fuck what they're doing. People do need to stand up for these things, but it's like, and I get it's risky for me to say stuff like that. I'm not gonna like go
Oh,
and,
dude,
you know.
And now that I'm in the conspiracy, like
I'm not in the conspiracy. I just like I'm just a guy.
All
this
I have
stuff feelings, and I don't know what to do with the feelings.
All this stuff that's coming out about how Israel's basically every war in the Middle East for the last 30 years since like 96 was because of it. Like Benjamin Netanyahu wanted this like clean break thing where they wrote this memo where they had to plan to like invade these 7 countries and all this shit. Like, I don't want to butcher it and like say the wrong thing, but basically like Iraq, Syria, Yemen, fucking Libya, all that shit was because Netanyahu wanted to like launch this greater Israel, which is this thing where they just want to be like an empire in the Middle East. And the States is like, well, if you're an empire, then we can like have like a base there. That's way easier and stuff. But it's just like turning into this giant shit show.
It's
like,
so I watched a documentary about World War II, and I didn't know this because like this is me kind of like doing my best to educate myself through entertainment, which I think is why most people are here. I'm going to try to educate myself through entertaining means. I was watching a Netflix documentary, the most recent one that came out about World War II, and I didn't know this, but and I'm probably going to get this a bit wrong because I only just watched it a little while ago and I kind of forget what it was about, but there's something about World War II and the creation of Israel came out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually didn't know that.
1947.
Yeah. I guess it's not that I didn't know that. I knew the date. I never made the connection that it was part of World War II. So I don't even know what I don't know enough about it to really even say what I'm saying, I think, but like it sort of came out of an atrocity in World War II.
Yeah.
As a reparation, but is now displacing other people.
Yeah. So what was supposed to happen was like in 1947, This is where the whole two-state solution came from. It was supposed to be in 1947. They're going to put Israel there, and they like took the land from Palestine. I don't know if it was a country back then,
right?
But they took the land away from Palestinians, and they're like, we're going to make Israel and Palestinian. It's going to be the two-state solution, and they'll live side by side. But then Israel like got attacked like 3 times, and they won like a defensive, like they got attacked right away, and they basically won a war when they're on the defensive and stuff. So that's when Israel became like kind of what Israel is. And then like some shit happened in like 1967, which was like the Oslo Accords, and you can like look at all that shit because it's like 6 hours of podcasting that like just go listen to Dave Smith. He knows all about it. But the one crazy thing that keeps tripping me up is, did I do on the Dale show, like cross-referencing again, did I do Templar Nights with you or with Andrea?
Yeah, with me.
Okay.
With me. Yeah.
Remember there's this like one throwaway line in there that's just been like sticking in my craw. And it was like in the 1300s, the England finally gave up on the Crusades and left. And then there's just this throwaway line that like Christians wouldn't return to the era until 700 years later in 1917 in World War I, when they defeated the Ottoman Empire and took the Levant region back.
Yeah.
So now I keep feeling like, is this just a crusade? Like, is this just a modern day crusade? That's like, it's like,
but not
the US and Israel instead of England.
So if you think of it in terms of empirical rule, sure. Yes, I guess yes. It's kind of a crusade, it seems. For like, are you talking about like a crusade for the Holy Land, like to try to take it back? Is
that what Israel's doing? Is this like basically a Jewish crusade?
Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
Like, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying that's a weird way to think about like wars. Like, because you think about crusades and you're like, oh, that's just like shit in the Dark Ages, that like when people were like more religion than brains.
It's a side note to the Oak Island TV show. Think about the Templars. But it's like a footnote in history that we don't talk about anymore because there isn't really maybe I'm being naive, but there isn't really like currently there's not a world dominating empire like the Romans or like the British, right? Like there's not that same kind.
Well, there's the US.
Yeah, but they're not worldwide domination.
Well, they're kind of like
trying, but they're not doing a very
good job. They were never trying. They were like, after World War II, they were like globalists. So it's like, instead of having one country as powerful, they just like kind of made it so that they had, because they were the only ones with a standing navy after World War II. So they kind of set up all these like aircraft carriers and stuff to kind of just police shipping lanes and stuff. And it kind of opened up globalism because countries could like ship from country to country without having to deal with pirates and stuff.
Right.
But what I was thinking, like the whole reason that I'm getting hung up on this, like,
on the Crusades
thing is because it's like, you feel like you think of our countries and our modern day society, and you just like, you think that we're more like logic based and not just like religious fervor. And like, when you see religious fervor like pop up here and there, you're like, oh, that's like that's a weird thing. That's an aberration. But like,
no, I don't see it that way. But
if you start thinking of this as like the crusade, you're like, whoa, maybe I wasn't paying attention and the whole thing is just religious fervor.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of disagree with you on that point that you don't see religious fervor often. I think you see it a lot.
Well, I meant personally me. I'm not saying like personally the world you don't see it.
No,
I'm just saying me, I don't notice it.
Yeah, I mean, is that white privilege or pink privilege making its rearing its ugly head? If you don't want to see religion, you don't have to see it, right?
Well, no, I'm not saying there's no religion. I'm just saying like, we don't go conquer countries and be like, God wants us to do this.
Oh, not us, but there are definitely some people that believe that God wants them to conquer countries still.
Oh yeah, and it's like I always thought of those people as an aberration to the norm. Like I didn't think that religious zealots were really running countries. I thought they were kind of just in the background and would pop up once in a while.
I don't know, man. The whole thing with the Christian right is like, that's a big portion of the
like
population.
That's what I mean. Like that's so weird and big.
Think about where we live right now in our neighborhood. If you go up Caribou, what do you see?
A church?
2 churches, 3 churches.
Where's the
4th
other
church.
churches?
There's 2 churches right across from each other.
Okay. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
there's
they're
a church
not
right down the street from
they're not
from
like
our place. They're everywhere. They're all over the place.
yeah, but there's
here.
churches and people go to church, but it's not like
there's more
have
people.
to do this because God wants you. Like it's not in your face like it was in the Middle Ages.
Because it's more insidious now. It's a little bit. I know what you mean. There's not like a warrior priest recruiting people.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say insidious. I think it's just people who want to like find community with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. But I know there's not like a Joan of Arc or like exactly. or the kings who declare themselves sent by God to rule the country, right?
It's not like Islam where they have like Sharia law and shit. Yeah. Where like they're like God wants you to cover your face, so get out of here. Yeah. And it's like it comes up mostly with like LGBTQ stuff where it's like God doesn't want you to fuck other dudes.
You're right. Over here,
yeah,
in Western world,
yeah,
there's this sort of notion that we've progressed past that.
Yeah, it's like it was almost like we've separated church and state. Yes, but we're kind of slipping back where it's like, did we?
Because there's money to be made, right? Yeah. Because we live in a capitalist society, so there's money to be made on church going ideologies and
yeah, but we've always lived in a capitalist society.
There's power. I know, but there's power and there's control in religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on power and control can extend to keeping the populace at bay as well. So why not make a religious?
But you know what I mean? Like how we've kind of left that, like we don't say the Lord's Prayer in school anymore.
Yeah,
and we don't like fucking.
But you're right. There's a backslide toward that again. Like you know, there needs to be prayer in school, and Alberta has measles and like all this stuff, right?
It's not even that it's backslide. It's just like I just thought we were done with that as a society, but then I was like, wait, has it just been there the whole time? And like, I want
you to think that, Dale. This is turning into a Dale Show episode.
Honestly, I don't even think it would be that bad to have a little more Christianity in our society, because it's bit like if we go New Testament Christianity, where it's like be nice to each other and don't be a dickhead.
Not that Old Testament hellfire and brimstone.
Yeah, not dickhead God, but nice guy Jesus. That's what we should do. Yeah, and I basically like maybe it was just because we did those Gnosticism episodes.
Oh man,
and it's just been like cooking in my brain.
Yeah, it's the slow burn. Yeah,
because it's like, wait, I can have Christianity without Old Testament God. That sounds pretty sweet.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Actually, that's just okay. Jesus is good and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean that's that's a tough one for me because I just I think about it a lot about like just the sway religion has over people. I'm like, my wife and I talk about this all the time too, right? Because like I was baptized, I'm Catholic, and she wasn't, and we both sort of make snide jokes about the fact that I'm going to heaven and she's not. So like when I die,
they changed the rules. Now all she has to do is accept Jesus.
Well, okay. Then she can come with.
Like I was baptized too, and it turns out that was just a waste of time.
Yeah,
because that's Old Testament rules.
That's Old Testament rules.
And Jesus came and he's like, "Yo, you just got to think I'm a dude. Let's go." And you're like,
"Yeah, dude, a dude, bro, hang out, buddy."
Yeah. And then like that whole thing, like with Armageddon and stuff. Like, there's a lot of like evangelical Christians who are supporting Israel because they want. So there's like, I'll give you like the fucking embarrassed basic understanding, not because I don't know what it is, but because I want it to keep it simple.
Okay.
But so basically what they want to do is they want Israel to take over the Temple on the Mount and then knock over the mosque that's there and then build like a Jewish temple. And then like burn some like red heifers or like sacrifice red heifers. And then that's supposedly going to unleash an antichrist on the earth, and then the second coming of Christ is Jesus comes back to fight the antichrist, and then we have the rapture where he comes back to judge the living and the dead, and then we all go to heaven or whatever, and then the people who are left behind, the world restarts with no one on here, and then it's like paradise, I guess. I don't know, that's probably wrong because it's like
that's very wacky.
It's like Scientology fucked up and dumb.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it's like in the like somebody was saying this, or somebody I can't remember which podcast I heard on.
It was a pod, yeah. Let's be real,
but it's like basically the Jewish people will lose, and Christianities will come and like, or like Jewish people will like knock down the temple on the mount, and then they'll rebuild the Solomon's temple or whatever, which is another whole fucking thing. I haven't gotten to that part of the Bible. But and then like they'll basically trigger Armageddon, and then Christianities will be in charge. I don't know how it works.
Huh.
It's real like
that's the crusade.
Yeah.
The crusade to make Christianity great again. Mm-hmm. That's that sounds terrifying, and that also sounds like it's going to take a long time.
And this is why I talk about Poopen, sharten, farten, because
Poopen, sharten, farten, baby,
it's way better.
What did you want to talk about? Trump and Elon. You made reference to it
so
earlier.
Trump versus Elon.
Let's get off this topic and move to another equally batshit crazy.
The fucking crazy thing is you'll still end up with Israel. Well, the reason I brought up Trump is because a lot of like people who are backing Trump, like on podcasts and stuff, they're like, all right, we're off Trump. We're fucking, and I'm like, okay, Trump's being fucked up. But like, and the fucked up thing was he was still like trying to like basically like diplomatically get peace between Ukraine and Russia and Israel and Iran. And then like fucking Ukraine sends in all these drones and fucking blows up Russia's like.
Oh, was that thing with the containers that all opened up and the drones came out?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. And the fucked up thing was, do you know why they had their like fucking nuclear powered planes, or their nuclear capable planes, I think it's called, on the tarmacs of those airports and not hidden away in a base? It's because they put them out there so people could like fly satellites over and inspect their nuclear armada and be like, okay, we have this like nuclear treaty and you're keeping to it. And then fucking Ukraine swoops in and just bombs them. And they're like, oh, we've been planning this for a year. And you're like, that's kind of fucked up and crazy. If you've been planning this for a year, why are you dropping all these like fucking ordnance and bombs? And then fucking Israel attacks Iran. Same thing. They attack, well, except for Iran doesn't have nuclear planes. They just like, they like, Israel attacks with like drones and stuff again. They attack in Tehran or Iran, whatever you want to say. A lot of people keep calling it Tehran because that's what they call themselves.
No, Tehran's a city. Iran's a country.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
See, this is why I don't. Anyway,
how do you not know this?
I thought Tehran was what they called themselves, kind of like Deutschland in Germany.
Here they call themselves Persians, but that empire died a long time ago.
Oh, anyway, like they were
that's
like
a whole other story.
Using Tehran and Iran. Anyways, Tehran is the point.
Tehran is like the capital of of Iran.
Okay,
Iran.
So Israel attacks Iran in Tehran. So what they do is they like the same thing. They smuggled in drones and then they like blew up like their nuclear scientists and their war leaders and stuff.
Man, I'm so glad I'm just in marketing. No one's going to try and blow me up.
And the most fucked up thing was Trump was supposed to meet with these people that got killed to do like more diplomatic shit the next day.
Oh, man.
So Israel, like, not only
just missed.
Israel not only the US brought us to the brink of World War III, but they did it the day before Iran was like going to talk about signing like the nuclear treaty again.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like fuck. And then the other thing too, like my conspiracy mind's all going right. I'm like,
oh no, he's off track.
So it's like both Ukraine and Israel use these drone strikes that they didn't need like fucking 2,000 pound bombs and shit like that the US has been selling them. So like what happens is the US gives Israel and Ukraine money, and then Ukraine and Israel, after they take their cut, they turn around and they buy all the arms from the US. Right. So they buy all their 2,000 bunker busters and stuff. And then I was just like, wait, like warfare obviously has already gone to drones and shit. We're not using 2,000 bunker busters. We're just using like suicide drones that cost a couple thousand each and they just blow up. Yeah. So why are we like giving them money to buy all this, or not us? I always say we with the US. So
you're just lumping us in North America as a whole.
Yeah. So this is my conspiracy. So US is taking all this taxpayer money, the US government, they're giving it to Israel and Ukraine. And then those guys are turning around and buying all the outdated weaponry and munitions that were just going to get scrapped so that the US can take the taxpayer money and they could just like basically treat Gaza and the Russia as like a fucking dump, like a garbage dump for these weapons.
For the
Because
munitions that are
yeah,
expired
if you
that no
take
one
these
else is
old
going to buy.
munitions and you like break them down and get rid of them, it's like super expensive. But if you
Right.
just fucking drop them
Sell them to
off in the Middle
somebody.
East,
Yeah,
then you don't
totally.
have to pay for anything and you actually
Yeah,
make money
you're actually
twice.
making money. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing. Because like a lot of people are like, the US is going to run out of munitions because we're running through our stockpiles. And I'm like, that's probably the point. So they could
Yeah.
just get rid of the old stockpile and then we'll switch to the fucking drones and the suicide drones and stuff. Like you don't need like you go to quadcopter drones instead of the like fighter
The
jet drones
the
that
fighter
shoot
jet
Hellfire
ones. Yeah.
missiles.
Or the ones that just
Damn.
are missiles.
And this is where we get into Trump and versus
Okay.
Elon.
All
Because I
right.
think it's all
We've made
AI
it.
based. It's
What's
all
it?
AI based.
What's AI based? Trump and
The
Elon?
whole reason they're
not
fighting.
real people? Oh, the whole
No, the
okay.
whole. It's not like they're not made in AI, but it's due to AI because Elon has this huge like beef with Sam Altman, who's the like guy from OpenAI,
Yeah.
who is what is Chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT. Yeah.
Because Elon supposedly started, I don't want to get into that
Oh
where
my
he
God.
says he starts stuff and he doesn't. So he supposedly started OpenAI and then Sam Altman took over
That doesn't seem right. Anyway.
and made
Yeah.
it a private company instead of it being like open source public company. And then Elon was all pissed. And then Elon joins up with Trump. And then at the inauguration, Sam Altman's there, and Elon's like, "What the fuck is this guy doing here? We have beef. Like, why would you pick him?" And then Trump's like, "Whoever figures out AI first gets $500 billion or whatever." And then Elon had selected a guy to be like the head of NASA
Mhm.
when he would like had Trump's
One of his
ear and stuff.
SpaceX people?
Sorry?
One of his SpaceX people,
Yeah, well,
probably.
I don't know, just some dude that Elon liked.
Yeah.
And what the podcasts are saying, these are actually reputable podcasts on counterpoints or breaking points. It's an actual news podcast.
Okay.
It's not one of my conspiracy ones. I'm just pointing that out because it's not some crazy guy.
Yeah.
It's actual journalists who are saying this, that he was so pissed that Trump took this guy out of NASA because Elon wanted that as like a pipeline to get all the information, like the personal data and shit that NASA has access to.
Right.
Because apparently, I'm like, it's just all this AI shit makes me feel like a boomer because they're like, oh, they need all this data, all your personal data. And they like, they make it sound like you're feeding oats to a horse. Like to make AI grow, you have to feed it personal data.
That doesn't sound right.
And I don't know why that, because like that's what they're saying, that Elon wanted all this personal data from NASA so he could feed it into Grok, because now that he doesn't have open AI, he started another AI and he wants that AI to win and like win the AI wars. And then they keep saying like how you have to feed like data into these AIs to train them. So
Well,
like
that is how they learn. I don't see how personal data specifically helps it learn anything.
yeah, but like I don't, yeah, see, I don't get it. Like, why would Elon Musk need all this data that NASA has? Unless it's just like, you know what I mean? Like the way it sounds is like you got to give data to an AI. Like,
You do.
would you just make it do math and it gets smarter?
That's correct. That's how it works. Do you not understand how AI works?
No,
Oh
not
my
at
God.
all.
Oh my God. Are we having this? There, and you do know there's multiple kinds of AI. Like there's different AI.
Sure. I know there's like
there's neural networks and there's large language model and there's different things that different AIs that do different learning patterns and use different resources.
okay.
So
What's with the feeding it data? Like explain that.
That's how it learns. Okay. So say for let me see if I can break this down for you and make it like work properly.
Do you feel like I'm like the biggest, dumbest guy right now?
So, yeah, I totally do. So AI is a brain. It's so think of it this way. It's an empty brain. AI
it's
is an
a horse
brain.
that you feed oats.
Okay, sure. It's
okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's like way too basic of an analogy. Okay. Yes, and no.
I'll stop derailing you.
Okay, so if you teach a horse to only eat oats, it only knows to eat oats. Mm-hmm. So it'll only repeat eating oats. And you can feed it various quantities and it'll learn what quantity of oats it needs to function properly. right? Like if I want to run 20 kilometers a day, I need to eat 2 pounds of oats, right? So if you give it 1 pound of oats and it tries to run 20 kilometers, it'll fail and it'll produce a shit result. The horse will fall over. I am able to do this, right? Because it's like it's too tired. It doesn't have enough energy to run the 20 kilometers. But the goal is for the horse to run 20 kilometers. You feed it 10 pounds of oats and it eats too much and it can't get going. It like fails and it's too fat and it's too heavy and it can't run the kilometers. So you finally you try a pound and a half of oats, you try 40 pounds of oats, you try like all these different things, and then finally you feed it the right information. So you find that sweet spot where it's 10 pounds of oats and it can run 20 kilometers. You're like, oh shit, it works. Now it works. So you need to feed it all this information. So now I want the horse to run 15 kilometers. So 10 pounds of oats is too much. I got to drop it down to like 7.5 pounds of oats, roughly, right? So you got to feed it data and information in order to get the result that you want.
Oh, so it's basically like
it's learning. It doesn't know that it can't do this or it can do this. So this is why AI has like 6 fingers when you tries to draw a human if you're using an art-based one, because it doesn't know a human has 5 fingers unless you train it to do a hands with 5 fingers.
So when you say
yeah,
you're feeding it information, like let's use your finger model.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is the data that you have to give AI is you have to give it hundreds of thousands of pictures of hands.
Yes.
So that it could see hands in all positions.
In all positions.
So that when it wants to make one, it could be like
it can generate a hand.
The different parts of the hands.
Have you seen the Will Smith spaghetti videos?
Yeah.
So in the early days of AI, it was like Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti and the spaghetti is like going through his face and it's all sloppy and weird looking. And now it has like a really smooth version of it. But what's happened is there's a person on the other side prompting and changing and trying to get it right and feeding it data points, information, visual images, pieces, like how much spaghetti is going in. Like, so now you have like a very good rendering of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Okay.
So 5 years ago, it looks fucking crazy. It looks like terrible CGI that's just not working. And now it looks like a deep fake of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
So
but it took 5 years of somebody inputting data to make it work. And this is sort of that thing where in the different styles of AI, some of it is like bullshit and some of it is real, right?
Yeah.
Mathematical models of AI tend to be better than visual-based models of AI because you're feeding math, because it knows how to learn math quicker.
Okay.
Because math is math and it's finite, it's like defined.
Okay.
Whereas like visual AI is less defined. It's more like, this is why Studio Ghibli was so pissed about his art being fed into the machine and people using that art style, because it took him years to hone that art style. And AI's feeding it in and trying to figure it out, and it's doing a shitty job replicating the art he worked so hard to build. So this is why he's mad about that. And art as AI is this whole, oh my god, I can talk about this forever. Art as AI is like the worst example because art is not structured. You can do whatever with art, but math is more structured. So the math-based AI is working better, right? So if Elon is trying to get personal data from NASA, there's a nefarious purpose behind that. He's training that to like, I'm assuming he's using it for like marketing and purchase purposes. He's using people's personal data to define what he can sell and make money on with his other products.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right, which is why they got to the, like, it's basically, this is targeted marketing. Right.
Yeah.
Like he's getting that information so that he can get people to purchase Teslas or some shit. Right. Like everyone wants to buy a Tesla because that's all you're seeing. As now that it has your personal data, it's trained it to only feed you the information he wants you to hear and see.
So I was just thinking,
is that better or worse? Has this made it better? Or
it sounds better, but another thing I just realized is since Elon has got his dick all up in that space shit, maybe the data he wanted from NASA wasn't actually people.
Maybe it's not personal data. It's probably space data. Like, his rockets keep blowing up. So maybe he wants like how to successfully launch a rocket.
Or maybe he just wants to download the star maps.
or the Star
like a
Maps,
Star Wars
yeah,
movie plot.
totally.
Like he
right?
could just want all the
Wants that
aerospace,
holocron. Yeah.
all the aerospace technical data,
All the
and
data.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
stars and like where
that,
the asteroids are that he could
that
go
would make
mine.
way more sense than him wanting personal data from NASA,
Yeah.
because I don't think NASA's collecting a ton of personal data, but they're definitely collecting
That's
a
why I
ton of
was like,
star
I don't
data.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes more sense to me now that that's clarified. But yeah,
Okay.
it.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Okay, and he probably wants like rocket propulsion data and like fuel numbers and like how and you
Yeah.
know what do you need to build rockets, like from like a logistics standpoint? How many nuts? How many bolts? What's the components? What's the stuff made out of? What's the percentage of titanium in these panels? Like all that kind of stuff, right? He probably wants all that data.
But you figure he'd have all that from having SpaceX.
Yeah, but remember, he created SpaceX or he allegedly created SpaceX from nothing. He didn't have the years of research data that NASA has, and NASA's got all that built up already, right? So
yeah, and then he could probably, because
that's how rich people take over businesses. They get the
IP.
Yeah, get the IP,
the intellectual property.
Yeah.
So maybe like he was like, because NASA subcontracts, like now they're subcontracting to SpaceX, but before they're subcontracting to Boeing. So he could like open up the hood and all the Boeing schematics and see how to build shit that fucking doesn't work.
That doesn't fly. That has the door come off in mid-flight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Or oh man, have I told you that like fantasy I have about I would love to go down one of those airplane slides, but like in a controlled environment, not in an accident situation?
Yeah.
I've told you that, right?
Well,
like
I think you've told me that, but like that should, they should just
want to try
have those at every airport. Like they should have an adult fucking bouncy castle where you could just like, because everybody wants to know what it's like to go down one of those.
Yeah, totally.
So they should just have a demo set up where you can go down.
That'd be pretty rad, right?
Except for somebody would probably rip it,
and somebody would barf on it, or like pee down it.
Okay, here I got a question for you.
Uncontrollable situations. Okay,
this is where my mind went. Who do you think would end up ripping the inflatable plane ramp? A chick with high heels, or some fucking rocker with a chain on his belt or on his wallet?
Oh man,
which one's more likely to be the one who rips it?
I've been in a lot of airports,
and
I've seen very few high heels.
Yeah, but you also don't see chain wallets anymore.
Also, I'm not looking for that stuff either, right? I'm not like looking for heels or chain wallets.
What about a chick who has both high heels and a chain?
It's my cousin. Fuck me. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Honestly, I think the person who's going to rip it is going to be like the least likely person to rip it. They're going to be like totally a bumbling idiot that has absolutely no sharp things on them whatsoever, and they'll somehow, by weird force of will, their elbow will go through and it'll tear, and they'll Benny Hill themselves into ripping a huge hole.
It'll be like some grandma's glasses.
Yeah,
or something.
It'll totally be something comical like that, right? Or
they'll be like, "Okay, are you ready to go down?" She'll just skid down on her face.
It would be like my wife would be dressed for an airplane in all soft clothes, and somehow like the one D-ring on her purse would catch on it and rip it open and like create a catastrophe. It would be that kind of thing that would happen, right? Yeah 100%. That would be that. Or like one of the rivets from my jeans would rip it open. It'd be like that, right? It'd be that. I'd be like,
your $500 jeans.
This is why we can't have this in airports, because you can't be trusted to just go down the slide like a normal human being. And then I would pee myself, and then there would be pee on the slide.
And it would totally be like a boomer who like is like, people should dress up for the planes. And then you'll be like, that's why we wear sweatpants, Grandpa.
Yeah, this wouldn't have happened if you'd worn your three-piece suit like a real man. Oh God.
Are you a jeans on the plane guy?
No,
if I'm not wearing sweatpants on a plane, I am having a terrible time.
And now welcome to Flight Tips with Geoff.
Yes.
I wear shorts on the airplane.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I get hot on airplanes.
Yeah,
I don't know
if
it's the cabin pressure.
It is the cabin pressure. I got some cabin pressure building up right now.
I like shorts and a t-shirt, and I bring either a flannel shirt or a hoodie to pack along up top with me. That's it.
Me too.
Headphones, an iPad for like watching with movies pre-downloaded on it because no flights have in-flight entertainment anymore. Mm-hmm. And I put a snack in my backpack.
Nice. That's smart.
Yeah. I can't sleep on planes either. So if I can't sleep on planes, I gotta be in shorts.
Andrea, like, because we fly with the kids, she like feels like if I'm asleep, I'm neglecting my duties of attending to the kid. It might be better now that she's like 2 and she's better at flying. I haven't gone with them in the last like 6 months when they fly, but it used to be she was like, I would like, because as soon as I get on a plane, I put on chilled like synthwave and I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
It's like fucking
you can sleep on a plane.
Oh, dude, I could sleep anywhere.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you. So jealous.
It's funny because Andrea always makes fun of me because like at home, I'll be like, even before we had a kid, I'll be on my phone looking at stuff and she'll be like, put your phone away, let's talk and stuff. And I'm like, all right. And I'll put my phone down. I'll be asleep in 5 minutes.
Nice. As if you don't have the phone keeping you awake, there's nothing to be awake for.
Just because I'm always tired.
Yeah. Well, I was telling somebody that the other day. I'm like, one day you just wake up tired and you're just like never not tired. Like I remember I was doing a mental health quiz a little while ago just to see where I'm at. I am not mentally healthy, but I'm working on it. I don't think anybody is. I took the test and it's like, how many times a week do you wake up feeling rested and refreshed? I'm like, never, and not for years. Like, do people wake up feeling rested and refreshed? And apparently some people do. Apparently most people do.
Those fucks.
I can't remember the last time I woke up. I was like, fuck, that was a great sleep. I wake up now. I'm like, my back hurts and my neck hurts and I'm too hot and I'm too cold.
And the most fucked up thing for me is if I sleep over 7 hours, I get a headache.
Yeah,
and I have no fucking idea what that is.
I have not slept over 7 hours in like 15 fucking years.
Really?
Dude, I go to bed right now. I get in bed at 10 and I'm asleep by like 11:30 and I'm up at 5.
Yeah.
Awake. And I try to go back to sleep and I do semi-sleep until my alarm goes off at 20 after 6.
Okay, I have to get up at 5:30 every day.
Yeah.
And like since we've had the kid, I'm like, I used to go to bed at like 10 and wake up at 5. And I'm like, all right, 7 hours. And then I was like, I go to bed at 10:30 and I wake up at 5. And now I just like I wake up at 5:30 and just fucking like rush through everything to get out of the house. And I never get to bed before 11:30 because there's always like fucking around with the kid and shit. So, and like sometimes it's like 12:30 and it's like, and then on the weekends, I'm like, I'll catch up on sleep. And then after 7 hours, I wake up and I'm like, motherfucker.
Hey, so we've established I'm well into middle age now.
Mm-hmm.
This is embarrassing, but I feel like it's pertinent to the conversation.
Hit me, buddy.
90% of the time in the morning, I'm woken up by my regularity.
You're pooping?
I gotta shit.
In the morning?
In the morning, AM, first thing, I'm up, I gotta poop.
Mine doesn't hit me till after I have my first coffee, like 10-ish.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, sorry. That's like my second coffee.
Second coffee, yeah.
Third coffee, because I have a coffee on my way to work.
Yeah.
At 6. I get to work at like 7. I have another coffee. And then I have another coffee at 9:30, which is my break.
Yeah.
And then usually my body's like, all right, we get it. We're doing the thing.
So so far, I've pooped at work twice since I've started this job.
Dude, I poop at work every day.
I know. I'm gonna get in trouble. People on the Slack side of my thing will be like, why are you not getting paid to poop at work? I'm like, I can't. I never have. I've pooped twice at work. One because I had a Coke in the middle of the afternoon, like a Coca-Cola, and it gave me the bubble guts at like 2:00, and I had
oh my god,
I can't drink a pop anymore. Dale,
no.
I drink water. I drink coffee. I occasionally have a beer or a gin and tonic.
Yeah, dude.
I have age spots on my hands, and I just every day I'm tired.
I love just talking about how old with shitty our bodies are.
And like, you remember that whole story I told you last time about like how we're the adults now, and like is this what being an adult is?
Yeah,
just horrifyingly tired all the time. Like right now, it's like it's 10 after 9. I'm gonna have to go soon, not because I want to go. I'm enjoying our conversation.
Yeah,
but I like want to reclaim some of my not at work time, and I'm
Oh,
you know
I
what I mean?
get it.
I'm gonna last for half an hour and be fucking
Yeah.
around doing something in the kitchen, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm so tired, I gotta go to bed,
Yeah.
and then I will not go to sleep until 11, and then I'll repeat the process by having
Yeah.
to get up to poop.
Back to the us being adults and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like it's like you think about adults and it's like they seemed like they didn't let the small things bother them, but I think
yeah,
it's just they didn't give a fuck about
they
shit
give a
because their
fuck.
bodies are falling apart.
Yeah,
Like I let people in front of me in traffic not because I'm nicer, but
I'm
just
just too tired
because
to put up. Yeah, I'm too
just
tired to
fuck,
be angry about
just
it.
fucking
Just go
go,
ahead.
just
Just
fuck,
go. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
fuck, like
dude,
come on.
I ordered insoles for my shoes today. Like,
Oh my god, dude,
fuck, I'm
you want to
falling
have the
apart.
insole conversation? I
Oh,
have been fighting a battle with work boot insoles
oh yeah.
because it's like I can't like I don't know if you know this about me. I might have mentioned it. I'm fucking heavy. I'm like
Yeah,
285 pounds. So any insole I get is over exaggerated on how it hurts my feet. So like
right.
I can't buy any any insole that has hard plastic in it. I can't buy because it digs into my foot.
Have you tried the cork ones?
Cork?
Natural cork. I'm gonna send you a link later.
It sounds like they'll just get ripped apart from my sweaty feet, my work boots.
I no, I got a
Oh,
guy. I got a plug.
you got a guy?
I'll send it to you later. I
Nice.
put cork insoles in one of my pairs of shoes. They're fantastic.
Oh, nice.
They're fantastic.
And the worst part is, like, I get a new pair of boots every 2 years,
Yep.
and
Yeah, you have to, right?
I always find like an insole I like, and then by the time I need them again, I forgot which ones I bought. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
what were
Because
the
it's been 2 years
insoles?
and we're old and we forget these things.
And the craziest thing is, it's probably just Dakota's because Dakota work boots, which are like the Mark's Work Warehouse
Yep.
brand, those are my favorite ones and they fit the most comfortable. And it's like,
Perfect.
and it's not, I don't even buy them because they're cheap. They're just the ones I like.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally good. That's
Yeah.
a dad thing. That you're having a dad moment there.
Oh, dude.
I bought some shorts the other day that I'm not proud of, but they were comfortable and they fit nicely.
Dude, there's parameters other than comfortable.
Yeah, now comfortable is really the parameter, and they look
Yeah.
nicer. They don't have cargo pockets. I'm trying to not be cargo pocket guy, but apparently
Yeah.
those are in fashion now. But
Oh,
whatever.
dude. I
can't
like
do it.
I was thinking about it because I was like, we just had a heat
Yeah, a big heat spell.
wave.
Yeah,
Don't know why I could think of the word. And so I stopped being hoodie weather. And I just realized I was treating my hoodies as cargo pockets because I would put
you know where
stuff
to put
in my
stuff
hoodie
now.
pockets.
I know.
And now that I'm just shorts and a t-shirt guy, I've got like wallet, keys, vape, and phone. And that's it. Only
Yeah.
4 things. But it's like, do I put 2 things in one pocket or 3? And it's like, is my keys gonna scratch my phone? Is my vape gonna scratch my phone?
Yeah, yeah. My phone's all fucked up, so I just like it. I carry a pocket knife kind of at all times, like in my pockets. This is another reason I don't have shorts that don't have pockets. They have to have pockets. I carry like
Yeah.
a little like a utility blade. It's for cutting bitches.
Nice.
That's not. It's like this long. It's for
You never know when you're gonna have to open a box.
you never, dude. That's like, you know how many times I've done that, or like cut a shoelace apart for somebody. I've never
Yeah.
used it for me. I've used it for other people's stuff. Oh, but yeah. Old people
Yeah.
stuff.
My new move now is
Yeah.
I have my pay by phone on my Apple or not Apple Pay, Google Pay.
Yeah.
So I could just tap my phone on stuff. So I'd never take my wallet with me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's happened twice where I go to the grocery store. This is the least interesting podcast ever. I go to the grocery store and I go to tap with my phone, but it's over like $125 or something.
Yeah.
So it's over the tap. So my pay by phone doesn't work.
And
And I've got this cart full of groceries. And luckily, both times I just happened to have my wallet in the car. So I had to like
Nice.
walk to the parkade, get my
You're like-
wallet and come back.
You have to ask the cashier, like, hey, if you're not at one of the cashier fantasy camp stores, you have to ask the cashier, like, hey, can you split this in half for me so I can tap twice so
Yeah.
keep it under the limit? I've done that one time before. I'm like, oh shit, can you just like split it in half roughly? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. Modern solutions to stupid problems we never used to have.
I love how we started, like we got all hot talking about Greta Thunberg and like fucking Israel and war. And
It just turned into old people whinging.
We're just talking about paying with stuff with our phone because we don't have enough pocket space.
We don't have enough pockets to carry our wallets in, and yeah. Oh my god.
And that's the adventure you go on with the Outrage Factory.
You never know what you're gonna get on Outrage Factory.
Just a couple of old dudes being old.
Oh my god. Okay. So okay, we should probably cut it there. I gotta go. And I hope you don't get detained at the border, and I hope you get to see your Olympia.
Dude,
building.
also, I just gotta tell you, the fucking chandelier hanging in this building, is 5 tons. It's made out of metal.
Somebody had to rig that shit.
Yeah,
that's
and
wild.
They built it in 1920.
One time I tried to install a ceiling fan in my house in Burnaby, and it tore the ceiling down.
Yeah, imagine how much
rigging a 5 tons chandelier would be. That'd be ridiculous.
And also, that's the chandelier. Guess how much the chain that holds the chandelier wears?
Oh my god! How much?
3,000 pounds for just the chain holding the chandelier.
That's 1.5 tons. Yeah, 1.5 tons to hold up 5 tons.
So we're locking 6.5 tons hanging from the inside of a dome.
Wow. Yeah.
So it wasn't built by us. It was built by a secret global empire that we just wiped away from history.
When we go to Turkey, so I can get hair plugs and we can go see Göbekli Tepe, then that'll be the jam. Let's do that. Then we'll learn all the secrets to the
nice.
Yeah.
Just tell me what the secrets, guys.
Yeah.
I promise I won't tell.
I won't tell. I won't tell a soul.
I'll fucking Epstein that. I will never tell anybody.
Outragefactpod@gmail.com and tell us the secrets. We swear to God we won't forward it to anybody.
Unless they're depressing. If my fantasies are more entertaining than what the actual answers are, don't tell me the answer.
You know the answer is going to be math. It's just going to be geometry. You'll be like, fuck.
It's just going to be a hand-drawn fucking note, and it says fulcrum and like fucking load factor, and I'll be like, I'm bored already.
Yeah, wow, you lost me. You lost me at that. Just tell me it was aliens, or I don't care.
I don't even understand how to feed an AI. You want me to fucking understand your schematics?
You think I'm going to figure out a 5-ton chandelier? You got the wrong guy, boss.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Until next time.
Stay angry.